Janet Kuypers.
I would like to read 3 more poems for you from the book, Chapter 48, Volume 1. I had to see what it was. From 3 different shows, instead of all from the same one. Thought I'd try something for you. This first one is from the Lake County Poetry Bomb. Poetry Bomb! And it is called Scars 1997. I wear my scars like badges. These deep marks show through from under my skin like war paint on an Apache chief, decorated with feathers, the skins of their prey. I have a scar over my left knee. It was left over from a bout with poison ivy, and I did this after climbing a mountainside. The 4-inch scar slices right along my leg, almost perfectly defining the muscles in my thigh. I have a scar over my right shin. I slipped on a patch of rocks and cut up the lower half of my leg and filled it with gravel and dirt. Joe poured hydrogen peroxide on my leg and wrapped my wounds with paper towels because the cuts were so widespread. An hour later, I was on a plane home so I could tend to my wounds in greater detail, tend to my wounds in depth. Now, all that is left is a 2-inch line down the side of my leg. Although it wasn't a very deep cut, it looks like it went straight to the bone. I have a circular scar on my left calf, and it's from getting off of a motorcycle and sliding my leg right over the scalding hot exhaust pipe. It's been years since I gained that scar. With each year, I see it fade, just a little. I can still see it, but the memory is slowly slipping away. My cat scratched me on my wrist once. When we had to give her some medication. Cats don't like taking pills or having ointment dabbed on them or liquid poured over their wounds. When giving her the pills, we grab her paws, tilt her head back by the nape of her neck, pry her jaws wide open so the pill would just fall back and then she was just forced to swallow it. But sometimes she'd move too much and a paw would slip out of our grasp. And now, over the bone over my left wrist, a long, thin scar stares at me defiantly. I tell people that if they wake up with bruises and cuts they don't remember, then they must have had fun the night before. But each marking, each scar is a story. It is a memory. It is a way to remember how you lived. And it is with these scars that I gauge my living. It is with these scars that I feel decorated. And I have to do an aside just because you've got the Sox shirt on. I was here, and of course it was when I moved that, of course, the Cubs are going to win. Because it's been like over 100 years since the Cubs. So we were watching it at walking distance, but there was a rain delay in the middle of the 7th inning or something. So we're just going to walk home, and of course some gravel or something happened. And I've got this huge scar on my knee. And people are like, oh, you can do things for a scar away. And I'm like, it's kind of fun to say that I've got this scar from while I was walking back from when the Cubs actually won the World Series. So why don't I just leave it there? But that was just the side because you had that, and I read the scars thing. Sorry, next one, sorry. This one was from an Avalon Chicago Public Library book reading, and it was with music from the Highway of South Africa, which was really cool. This poem is called Just Out of Reach, Edges of the Ocean. I was at some tropical island where tourists go and saw an inlet along the beach where they used net walls to show off their trained dolphins. You asked me if I wanted to see the dolphins. I said no. And it made me wonder, which is worse? Keeping wild sea animals in total captivity all of their lives with man-made ponds, with man-made walls, or training wild sea animals at the edges of their oceans, putting up these man-made walls right up at the beachfront, giving them the water so they can look out at what they're missing. As we walked away along the beach, I saw a trainer on the platform guiding a dolphin as it flipped through the air. And I thought, let an infant lick a lollipop and then pull it away. Even after they've stopped crying, even after they're used to what they've got, all they can do now is stare at that lollipop just out of reach. Evanston reading, Striking with Nature and Humility. But I like this one, and I think everyone does. This one's called Our Lady of Humility's Hypocrisy. Short. Saw hypocrisy in a bumper sticker today. Proud parent of Our Lady of Humility's honor student.
No.
Proud parent of Our Lady of Humility. That doesn't seem quite right, does it? I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. Our proud parent of Our Lady of Humility. I'm like, all right, of course. Of course you are. The other sin, get your deadly sins covered right. Thank you.